Good evening, everybody, or good morning, everyone. Welcome to everybody on the call. It's my pleasure to help you discover what I discovered myself 2 years ago. My name is Bernadette McBurnie. I am an independent wellness consultant with McKen, and what I discovered a few years ago has definitely made a huge impact in my life, in the life of my family and many people around me. So tonight I want to take you through a journey, and it's a journey really towards better health. And what we want to share with you tonight is what we call active wellness. And what is active wellness? Active wellness is really the process of making a choice to really stay healthy, live a healthier life and a stronger life. But it's also about living a life in balance, not just the physical well-being. It's really a very broad approach to better life. So as we do this, it's important to understand this concept as well, which is the compounding effect. And the compounding effect is really about all the actions that we take every day, every week, really have an impact on what our life does to us. And one thing is, think about maybe some of the habits that each of us have. If it's about nutrition, for example, what will happen if maybe we don't have the best eating habits? Will it show right away? Will it show in the first week? Probably not even in the next few months, and sometimes even in the next few years. But the compounding effect of not having proper nutrition or maybe not so good habits will show up later on in our weight, in our energy, in our overall well-being. But it's the same with, it's not just about physical health. What about, our financial habits? If we don't have proper or maybe wise financial habits, will it have an impact later on our financial health? Most probably, and I'm sure we can all agree to that. So it's really important to understand that every day, what our small habits, daily choices will have an impact, and those impact will impact the quality of our life in a positive way or in a negative way. So it's really important then to be aware of that. So, from a health point of view, tonight we are really taking a journey of better health. So our focus tonight is really to take you through a discovery of what are the things that are important for our health. Now, what about stress, or that have an impact on our well-being? What about stress? Stress is not something that we can avoid. I really think that stress is part of our life. And the challenge that we have is, what do we do to deal with stress? Whether it's physical stress, whether it's financial stress, whether it's environmental stress, but stress is part of our life. And I'm sure we all agree, there's many studies that have come out in the last few years, that stress is really the cause of a lot of health challenges that we have. It impacts heart disease, it creates, diabetes, fatigue, allergies, our sleep, our weight. Stress is really, unfortunately, something that we need to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And of course, stress will also impact our sleep. How important is sleep? Sleep is truly the foundation of our health. What's really concerning, that statistic that we see here in North America, 70% of Americans have sleep issue, 70%. And that's according to the studies or people who have reported sleep issues. So, which means there's a lot of people out there who are not even, reporting that. So that's really important. And do we recognize that one bad night's sleep will compromise our immune system by 60%? One bad night, 60% of our immune system is compromised. And unfortunately, very often we think, oh, I didn't sleep well last night, I'll catch up next week. I catch up tomorrow. Well, interesting enough, something that maybe a lot of people are not aware of, it takes about a week to recoup from a one bad night's sleep. So as we're accumulating stress, bad night's sleep, we are really drawing on our bank in terms of resistance. And it's really important to deal with that. And sleep is not about quantity, it's about quality sleep. And that's really important. So what is the quality sleep that we have? I was talking about environmental stress. You know, unfortunately, our environment has been compromised quite a bit in the last few years. We are all aware about air pollution. We're all aware about water pollution. So what exactly is the situation right now? When I read these statistics, you know, the World Health Organization recently did a study. And then when I read this, I had to read it twice to make sure that I read it properly, because what it's saying is that 7 million of premature deaths annually are linked to air pollution. 7 million of premature deaths annually are attributed to air pollution. That is almost impossible to even believe. To me, anyway, it was. Because I think, how is that, you know, and possible? And it's the air pollution and indoor or outdoor pollution. And nowadays, we are all aware that the indoor pollution is even greater than the outdoor pollution. What do we do then? You know, if the pollution is all around us, what do we do? Again, it's about what are the choices we can make to counteract that. What about water? Water is also a big concern. Water is life. I am sure we all agree to that. Water is life. Without water, we cannot survive. Nature cannot survive. Animals cannot survive. Water is absolutely critical. But, you know, when we know about the water pollution, so in tap water, again, recent studies that have been made in the last couple of years shows that we have about 260 contaminants found in tap water. And I'm sure that depending on the area of the country that we are in, we may even find a bit more, but 260 contaminants. So that's not really good, isn't it? So tap water, though, is controlled. But at the same time, in tap water, there's chlorine, there's chloramine, there's a number of things. So it's not good because there's chemicals in tap water. So quite often we say, well, then I don't drink tap water, I'm going to go to bottled water. Well, is that really so much better? Well, again, a very recent study have been made that has been tested many, many different brands of mineral waters, showing that bottled water, unfortunately, we have found that there's over 20,000 chemicals in bottled water. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm reading those statistics and say, well, what am I supposed to do then? What am I supposed to do if I can't really fall back on tap water or bottled water? What are my choices, right? And that is really the stress that our body is submitted to every single day. The stress, the fatigue, the tiredness of the job, you know, the quality sleep that maybe we're not getting, our brain doesn't shut down and we need to rest, you know, the environmental pollution, these are unfortunately very real facts. What about the health trend? You know, obesity rates have been at its highest in 2010. And these are already like 4 years, 5 years ago. In terms of in North America, 78 million adults and 12 million children are rated officially obese, which means, you know, what about the others who are not even have been officially rated? 1 out of every 5 adolescents are obese in 2012. 1 out of 5. 30% of children between the age of 2 and 11 are overweight. That is really such a concern, you know, which is why we have now a number of diseases that are children disease, while before they were adults disease. Something is wrong with our lifestyle, with the choices that we are making every day. So that is really important. And nutrition is a big part of it. But, you know, nutrition, it's about having access to organic, to whole food. We know that's what it is. There's a lot of controversy with all the chemicals. Again, what do we do? So with all of that said, what's the answer? And the answer, what I discovered myself 16 years ago, is a company that is educating us and giving us choice that are simple choices that allow us to choose to be healthy and to incorporate that and integrate that in our daily life. So it's not just about, things that we use once in a while, but it's really about a lifestyle program. We start, but it doesn't end. And it's all about living our life to the fullest. And one of the aspects of it is about, humans being more. Humans being more, as we define it, is really about living a life with a very holistic approach. I'm sure we all agree that our life is far more than our body. It's far more than our finances. It's all of the things that really matter into our daily life. It's about having a healthy mind, body, family, society, and finances, because our life is all of this. It's the role we play in our community. We want to be healthy, because if we're not healthy, we have a hard time taking care of our family. It's almost impossible to go to work. It's very important to have a positive attitude to allow us to do the things that really make a difference. But finances is just as important. And unfortunately today, the two main reasons why people experience stress, whether it's emotional or physical, it's health issues and financial issues. And the beauty is Nikken is really giving a solution to those two biggest reasons of stress. So tonight we focus more on the physical body. And what I love about Nikken, again, it's a very holistic approach to physical well-being. When we look at all the things we're talking about here, air, sleep, water, food, and light, ask yourself, if our body was missing one of those 5 elements, whichever elements it would be, would our body function? Would our body be able to function? Would our body be able to function at its optimum? It could not. If we didn't have access to air or food or water or light or sleep, the body would break down, and the body would break down quite fast. So if these 5 elements are really critical to our well-being, can we agree that then the quality of those 5 elements that we get will have an impact on how we live and the quality of our life? And the beauty is Nikken is providing what I would call common sense solution. It's all about common sense. But the beauty is backed up by science. And that's where Nikken is just wonderful. But it's about controlling the environment that we can control, which is our home. We can't control our work environment. We can't control the outside. But there's at least one place we can control and make it the best that we can to take care of ourselves and take care of our family. And this is our home. And that's why our concept, what we promote, is the wellness home. And I don't know why. And so the wellness home is an array of product that really take care about all those 5 elements that I was talking about: air, sleep, water, nutrition, light, and nutrition. All of this, because again, the body needs that. So here we're just showing a very short, sampling of the products that we have. We have quite a bit more than this, but this is really important. And again, it's all about common sense. Think about it. If we know that we need sleep, what about we choose something that allows us to have high quality sleep that provides us a rejuvenating sleep, repairing sleep? If we know that we need the best pure clean water, how about making choices that allow us to get that? And same for everything else. So, and that's what Nikken is about, is incorporating in our life simple products, and it's all about making better choice. At this time, I'd like to invite the 3 ladies who are going to share with you their testimonial and how Nikken Wellness Home has impacted their life. So Arlene, why don't you start and share with us, why you decided to embrace, and what did you use, and how has this impacted your overall health?
Thank you, Bernadette, and good evening, everyone. 3 years ago, when my husband passed away, I have been under a lot of emotional and physical stress. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. And that has been happening for several weeks. So when you mentioned that stress is the silent killer, wow, that really hit me. And the product that I use is the sleep system. And after a week, I was able to get a very good deep sleep. And when I asked, remember Bernadette, when I asked you, why is it? Is this a magic? But you explained to me that because your body has been under a lot of stress, the sleep system distresses you and your body began to feel relaxed. And that's why you begin to get a very good sleep. And I was overweight then, Bernadette. And I used the Kensen Vital Balance with combined with Siaga, and just barely after a week, 2 months of using that, I dropped from size 8 to size 6. And that was amazing because not only did I lose weight, my sugar level improved because it was already borderline. And it gave me a concern because all my paternal uncles and my aunties died because of diabetes complications. My father is the only survivor among the siblings, and he is also suffering from diabetes. And taking this Kensen Vital Balance helped me a lot to improve my sugar level. And at the same time, I feel more energetic 3 years, when I was 3 years ago. And aside from that, I've been suffering from very bad allergy for 17 years. And using the product, the sleep system and the Kenko Air. And then after a week, I stopped taking the allergy pill, considering because allergy pills are very expensive. And aside from improving my health, I save a lot and I got my money back on investing on those products. And if my friend Tra had chosen not to share it with me, I don't know where will I be. And it really transformed my life in so many ways, Bernadette.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Arlene. Madeline, would you join us?
Yes.
Wonderful. So you know what I love about this? We are able. I think somebody. There's feedback. You know what's really wonderful. We are able. I am sorry. Somebody must be on a cell phone. Madeline, just stay muted for a moment. What's beautiful with this is we're able to help people all around the world. You know, Arlene is in San Francisco, Madeline, you in Chicago, in Ohio, and the message travels without any limit. So Madeline, share with us as well how this has impacted your life.
Thank you. 20 years ago, I'm a nurse, and I was outplaced from a healthcare executive position, and another nurse called me to tell me about this wonderful product experience she had. And for 2 years, she called and sent videos, but she didn't come to see me. So when I went to visit her, it was to take everything back and to say, not interested. I couldn't believe what I saw because of my background as a cardiovascular nurse. I'd known her since 1966, and I was amazed. So 3 hours later, when she took these out of her shoes and said that made this big difference in her cardiovascular health, along with adding a sleep system. 21 years ago, we didn't have the water in the air and some of the Siaga and so forth that we have today. So I trusted Jerry, and I started with a pair of insoles. But what really interested me, I was very stressed too, losing the job. And when I saw the 5 pillars of health, I had been doing body, mind, spirit, continuing ed. And I knew that my family was out of balance, my mind was out of balance, the finances were out of balance, and I was so called to this particular focus. Now, I saw myself as being very healthy, but I very quickly saw the need in my family. So I started sharing products with everybody. And then when I got my own sleep system, and I could tell the difference in my being able to handle stress, my life transformed. I want to fast forward to 18 years later, which is now. And in the past,
what kind of results did you get with the sleep system?
Okay, with the sleep system, I was able to sleep peacefully. I felt more energy. I was very stressed at the time too. There were economic changes in the marriage, and I was just able to sleep better. And at that time, it was just an older version of sleep system. And when I mentioned the going 18 years ahead, I've had every model of sleep system that we've had in those years. The new one that we have, I'm even at a higher level. There is absolutely a deeper sleep. There's a difference in allergies. And in the accumulation of the 18 years, what I'd like to talk about is what you mentioned earlier, Bernadette. It's really all of it. I say if the investment in the wellness home, as you also mentioned, it's very cost effective. And it has made such a difference. In the past 2 years, I've had 2 joint replacements. So what I want to say is that I've used every product except the pet and the men's formula over the 18 years. And when I had the result that I did with a right knee and a left hip replacement, home in 24 hours, didn't have to go to physical therapy, I came home with the products actually taped in, and I had just a 24-hour length of stay. And so I had spot application improvement, but it was really because for the past 18 years, I have used every single product, and I was at 2 different major health centers for the 2 different joints, and every practitioner, physician, anesthesiologist couldn't believe, I'll be 69 in August, that I was taking 0 medication, take none. I have osteoarthritis, but even for pain, by using the osteodangs and the joint and the CM cream and duct tape and all the products that I used, it got to the point where my mobility was interfered with, but the amount of pain and discomfort that I had, I really had the joint replacements because I was at a risk for falls. So
that's wonderful.
So just pulling it all together, wherever you begin is a good beginning. But I would just like to end it with 50 years of healthcare experience. Prevention is very cost effective, and the combination of the technologies, it's really 1 + 1 + 1 is 100. There's a synergy. Thank you.
Wonderful, Madeleine. Can you choose yourself, Madeleine? Thank you. Marie-Belen. Marie-Belen is actually calling us from the farthest tonight. She's calling us from Ecuador, which is wonderful. Would you share with us as well, Marie-Belen, what has been the improvement in your life, and which products have you been using then?
Thank you, Bernadette. Yes, it's wonderful. I can join you today. I've been trying to do it the last 2 weeks, but never was possible. And well, I knew about Miken 5 years ago. In a moment where my health was in a very critical condition. I had a car accident almost 15 years ago, and I have a really big problem with my bladder. And more or less 9 years ago in the States, they told me that the problem in my bladder was final, and the solution was to take it out, to cut the bladder, and just put like a little bag outside. But I was not prepared for that. I didn't accept that proposal. And what I take back to Ecuador was just medication, very strong medication that kept me, having nothing to do with my life, because every 15 minutes I had to go to the bathroom because I need to pee. And this strong medication didn't let me to stay alone anywhere, neither at home nor going outside by myself. I couldn't drive my car anymore. I couldn't work anymore. So it was like a very stressful period because my health was not good, and emotionally I wasn't getting nothing good, let's say. So I had a physical therapist here that was treating my pain problem in one period. Well, I visited her like 18 months, and I was paying to her just to lie in a sleeping system that I didn't know that it was a sleeping system. I was taking bottled water, and I was putting this in the water processor and in the optimizer that we have here in Ecuador, and taking this back to my house every week and paying her for this treatment, like an hour and a half treatment that helps me like sleep a little bit, because needing to go to the bathroom every 15 minutes during the day and night kept me like out of balance and with no rest and everything. But she helped a lot with that. And finally I discovered that these wonderful products were being sold here in Ecuador, not anymore just in Colombia where she brought them. So I decided to buy everything to take
Wonderful.
back home. And it was wonderful because more or less 3 or 4 months after using my complete sleep system and water and air, my life changed. I'm not, I have my bladder problem, but I can stay almost an hour not going to the bathroom. I don't have any pills at all. It's more or less 4 years out of pills, and that's a very important difference in my life and in my health, because my filters are not getting worse. And now I'm sharing all this wonderful proposed to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, Maria Belen. Well, it's really important. You've heard some wonderful testimonial here of, some really impressive improvement. What I really want to mention is, first of all, we are not making any medical claim. It's really important that what our wellness home does is providing an environment for the body so the body then can function at its best. It's about feeding the body proper quality sleep, pure and clean water, pure and clean air. It's all about prevention. It's about giving it nutritious, nutritious food through our nutritional line, which is organic and whole food. And it's also taking care of, we have a beautiful skincare line because, our skin is the largest organ that we have. We also need to take care of it. So again, it's about creating an environment so the body can function and really be at its best. So there's really no medical claim. It's the body that really goes to work then. What's really important also to understand that this is not just for the people who have some ailments. This is all about prevention. As Madeline said, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. We all know that. My children have grown into this wellness environment, and they are young adults now, and I guarantee you, when it was time for them to move out of the house to go to college, they took everything with them. And the answer when I asked them why, is said, Mom, we know what these products are doing for us. We are not moving out without anything. And so for them, it's all about performance, it's about focus, it's about prevention. So it's really important to understand that. So the other thing that I want to mention is our solutions have been endorsed by a number of organizations. Go back to the person who invited you and they can give you all that information. But as consumers, we can be absolutely sure of the quality of Niken's solution. Again, these are high quality products that are backed by science. Just wonderful. And that's really important for us. For me as a mother, to be able to know that our products are safe, non-chemical, organic, all of it, it's absolutely phenomenal, because then I know that I can recommend them in total confidence. So really the choices today was an introduction about our product showcase discovery. If you are, what I would recommend is go back to the person who invited you to connect tonight. Let them know. If you have any question, let them know so then they can help you out. Do yourself a favor. You deserve the best. You deserve the best. We all deserve to be healthy and strong. I don't know about you, but I really believe, I'm the kind of person who say, I want to be as healthy and as strong as possible until it's time to go, because I want to enjoy my life. I want to have that vitality. I also believe that Niken is the best anti-aging program that we have. Because when we are able to deal with stress, we are surrounding ourselves with products that allow us to really just function at its best. It's just phenomenal. So go back to the person inviting you. Decide to become a customer. Ask them how you can also get your nutritional at a preferred price, as a VIP customers. There's a number of benefits that are given to our customers. And then if you're intrigued by what you've heard, you may already think about some people who you would want to help. So then talk to the person again who invited you and say, hey, how can I introduce this to other people? How can I make that available to them? And maybe you decide to look at this from an income opportunity and become a part-time entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur. Just know that there are some possibilities. If you are, I'm inviting you, if that is something that intrigues you, I'm inviting you to come back on this same channel in 15 minutes. We have a business discovery. And that's happening tonight. If tonight doesn't work, just know that there are other days that we have a business discovery as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us on the line. I want to thank you, the three ladies who really shared their product story. Thank you to all of you. And we hope that you will decide to join us, make the Niken choice, and live a healthy, strong life. Thank you, everybody. Good night.